Hi, Chastity White Rose again, and I'm trying to stream to Twitch again. And what I'm doing today is going to be a little bit interesting because I'm actually booted into Windows. I have a lot of stuff on my desktop, obviously. Now, I want to show you something because I discovered a bug in 3 of my games, actually. It's kind of interesting. So, I'm going to go, let's see here. If I go here, I'm going to show you. Here's Chase Panel. Yeah, okay. That game works right. Well, I need to update these games. Okay, so first of all, we're going to go to SDL Chase Triss 2. So this game actually works pretty good, but I noticed something. Notice how it says things. When I press X, it says D/rotate right. It's supposed to say X. And so here's the thing is, I had the same bug in 3 of my games. So this is my Tetris game, Chase Triss. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. But what I need to do is I need to update all of my games to the latest versions. And I have the Linux distribution. Okay, let's see. Let me go. I'm going to show you what I do. So I don't have any patrons on my Patreon. I don't have anybody yet. But I have a Patreon account, and I am still using it for my own personal stuff, even though nobody looks at my stuff. So here's the key. Now, I have the most up to date versions of my 3 puzzle games here, um, on my here on my Patreon. So I'm going to download all of these. Okay, so first I'm going to download the Chase Puyo one. Okay, so SDL temp. Okay, so first we're going to download Chase Puyo Linux. Then I'm going to download Chase Triss Linux. Okay. And there's Chase Panel Linux. Okay. See, and even though these say Linux, that's only because the executable inside of them is is for Ubuntu Linux. So it's actually not hard to compile the Windows version. So here's how it works. So what I do is I'm going to open a new window. I'm going to go to SDL temp, and then so first I'm going to update Chase Triss. So I'm going to extract the files, and then I'm going to delete the executable, and then I'm going to copy all of the source files because the source files have changed, but the README has not changed. I know that for a fact because I never update that thing. Okay, actually, let's just look at the README. Yep, I wrote kind of a big README. Okay, but yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna copy this here. Okay, and then I'm going to recompile and run the program here. Yes, okay, there we go. See, I copied all the files just to make sure that everything was up to date, even though I'm pretty sure there was only one file that contained that typo. So yeah, so my Tetris game is working perfectly now. I love playing around with that, obviously. Okay, anyway, and I'm going to have to do the same with the other games as well. So Chase Puyo is something that I made a long time ago, but I've been working on it for a while. Okay, so there's that temp one, and now I'm going to extract this one, and then I'm going to delete the executable and basically copy all of these files here back to. It's kind of sad that when the Windows File Manager doesn't have tabs, you have to open a whole new window, and then it gets confusing. but it is what it is. I don't use Windows very often, so I'm spoiled with Linux. Okay, so here we are. So gonna recompile and rerun this one. Okay, I got the typo fixed. Oh, and also there's a cool little Easter egg in this version. If I press T, check this combo out. You see that? I programmed that special testing field into the game so that you can press T at the start of a game and you can just do this cool combo. How do you like that? That is a really nice combo. And part of the reason I did that, it wasn't just for showing off, it was because I legitimately needed a quick way to test whether things were chaining properly. And whether the animation was right, and it worked perfectly. You may have noticed that it looked like it was falling because they fall down one grid space and it delays 100 milliseconds exactly. And that just is the speed that seemed right to me. Okay, so I fixed Chase Puyo. It is now up to date. So now I'm gonna close out of that, and then I'm going to. Okay, let's see here. We're going to go to games, then chased panel. Here we are. So now I'm going to go here at chase panel. Now you'll notice that chase panel is actually bigger than the other ones. Now that's because when I made chase panel, I included music with it. With the SDL version has music. Whereas the other two games, I did not include music in the SDL version, but I did in the Raylib version. So the truth is, I'm not entirely sure the route that I want to go with that, because I've been thinking of making a version that doesn't include the music, because I like the flow of the game when there is no music, just because it makes it easier to update because I don't have 17 megabytes. But for right now, it includes the music as part of its code. In fact, I'll show you. I'm going to extract it and extract this, and then see when there's music, there's several things it has to do. There's an entire file all dedicated to using the SDL mixer. And so it has these global variables. I don't really know how this works. I basically copied the code from one of the SDL example demos in order to just took code that worked basically and got it in here. So I don't even use all of those code, but it initializes the audio, it does error checking, seeing if everything is right. It's kind of crazy. I don't even know how it works, but I know that it does work. And then I wrote my own little functions to load. So yeah, it has all of this stuff, and even though it works, personally, I just think it's ugly, so, but whatever. I did include it. I can always split and make spin-off versions later on. I could release a version that doesn't have the music and just simplify the code. Okay, so gonna copy there to there. Okay, there we are. So now I'm going to compile it and run it. Okay, there we are. Well, anyway, as you see, it certainly works. Now, the one problem is that because I I did not include a way to turn off the music, which is kind of an oversight. Because in some of my games I had a way to turn off the music, but it doesn't look like I did in this case because let's see, yeah, it only has X, Z, X, W, S, A, D, and the arrow keys are the only things that do anything. Um, I didn't actually, yeah, I didn't actually put anything to do that. Interestingly, let's see here. Did I include? Yes. So now this is what it does. If a song is not playing because it ended, it goes to the next song. But I did not exactly put a way to turn off the music. So that's something that I'll have to fix on my own time. But for now, the music just plays. But in the future, maybe I would want to make a version that just doesn't have music, just so that when I'm streaming, you can hear my voice and while I'm explaining things. That's part of why I prefer them to not have music. Also, I run into like copyright issue, funnily enough, because I use music that I'm allowed to legally use from OC Remix, but this one artist named Stiffles, I still run into issues when I use that because I get copyright notices, and I'm still able to use the audio, but I'm just tired of like the copyright notices and all that stuff, and I don't know. It just seems simpler to not have any legal or potential legal problems. So I may take the music out in what I do. But anyway, enough rambling about that. As you see, it works. So what I'm going to do is now what I do is I delete the old executable and let's rename main.exe to chased panel. Okay, we've got that one. So that works all right. And notice it has the required DLL files there. That's important. So I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, and also this version of Chastress also works. It's the older version. It doesn't have full screen support, but it does in fact work. Oh, and it has like that. Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, I had a move log. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's the older version before the rainbow text. It's still a valid Tetris game though. The move log works, so I'm keeping it. So now we're going to delete that one. Here's the executable. Okay, there we are. We don't need this file. Okay. And now notice when I publish my games, it includes everything, including the build scripts. So this is my Windows build scripts. Now it only works because I have very specific uh, files set up in certain paths on my machine. It's not going to work for you unless you have the exact same setup. I actually did cover that in another video, but I may review that in this video also, just because it's very helpful information. So yes, now we have Chastress. Okay, and then and yep, and we had Chase Panel. I fixed that one. Okay, it works. And I believe that was actually full screen too. Let me just double check that. Yep, okay, it was full screen as it should be. So now we're just going to make sure that Chase Puyo is up to date. I'm just going to compile and rerun that. Yep, it works. See, all the applications are now full screen. And actually, let's do a comparison. So now if I do the original executable, it says D/rotate right. So we know that's the wrong one because it's not supposed to do that. Now we're just going to rename main.exe as chasepuyo.exe. Now when we run it, because it's the updated version, see X/rotate right. So see, it works. It works just great. Yeah. Oh, and also, just for fun, let's just totally do this. Because it looks cool. It just really looks cool. That is so sweet. Isn't that like the most beautiful thing you ever seen? It's really cool. Huh. Fun, fun, fun. Okay. Well, now that I have gotten all three of my games updated, well, that means it's time to get them published officially. I have multiple avenues that I publish things on. Um, but Steam, I have to pay $100 for every game that I publish, and nobody buys my Tetris game on Steam, so it's not worth the investment at this point. It is published. I just thought I would get at least a few sales because I published it a year ago. Okay, anyway, so now, see, they all require the font file, the same exact font file. Interestingly, the older versions had multiple font files and loaded different fonts for each different size of font. Um, but I got rid of that system when I moved to using SDL. I started trying to just use one font and then scale it for all the drawing. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to I'm going to compress these all. Okay, SDL Chase just 2, and I'm going to do underscore Windows in all of these because the Linux and the Windows one are specific to, they're specific because if you're on Ubuntu Linux or even other Linuxes it may work with, then you're going to want the one that ends in Linux. But if you're on a modern Windows, you're going to want the one that says Windows. I don't think it'll work on 32-bit Windows. I don't think so because SDL2 doesn't even support the other versions, the older versions of Windows. I'd have to do a complete rewrite, but anyway. So now chase panel. So yeah, we got one more to make here. Okay, it took a little bit longer to compress all that. Chase panel Windows. Okay, so now you see here, we have the Chastity Trinity, as I like to call it. I'm going to cut that, and then I'm going to go here, go to published itch.io, and we're going to replace those. So you see these here are the most up-to-date versions. I still don't like how Chase Panel is so much bigger because it includes the music with it, but that's something I can work on. And I would also like to know what my people who watch my videos, actually play my games think. Because should I remove the music from Chase Panel or should I add the music for Chase Tris and Chase Puyo? What would people like to have? Because I could go either way from a programming perspective. I have the know-how, obviously. So anyway, and I just want to show that my specific system, W64 Dev Kit, which is invented by Skeeto, I have a system where I have all my Allegro stuff, which is not applicable to this video, but I did compile something with Allegro. And then all my SDL2 headers are in this one. So my include directory and then my lib directory has all of the lib files. It has the glue for like OpenGL stuff. It has the lib Allegro. It has lib SDL image, mixer, and the base lib SDL. So, whoa, look at the size of that. Like that's the actual archive file of all of the functions. That's kind of freaky. I don't even know, man. This is huge files, but SDL is massive as it has a lot of work it has to do to be cross-platform. The fact that my my SDL programs work on Windows and Linux without any source code changes is precisely because I use SDL. SDL is like the best thing to ever exist. I like Raylib too, but I still find SDL preferable, but it's not as easy. Like SDL, there's a lot more work you have to do, but I do think that I get better performance. Things just load up quicker, and I know how to use SDL better than Raylib. And I started with Raylib, and I first made games with it, but now I'm just like, I just use SDL for everything because I've been doing it. But it doesn't really matter, from a programming perspective, whatever works good for you. Like if you're a computer programmer, you want to do whatever is, just suits you and what your needs are. Because if you like Raylib, if you like SDL, or if you prefer Allegro, SFML, there's a lot of different libraries, and I've used most of them. But Raylib is what I made my first game in, and then then SDL is what I made all three of these games in this video for. So I have the Linux versions there. Now I'm going to upload. Okay, that's the wrong folder. Okay, published itch.io, and the reason it's named itch.io is because I also publish my games on itch.io. But for right now, I'm just uploading these to my blog here. And what I like is that even though the Chase Panel one is much bigger than the other one, the other two games, it's still under 20 megabytes, which is not bad considering the size of games these days that are sometimes certain games are like a few gigabytes, but they're usually three-dimensional massive multiplayer online RPGs or something like that. It takes a lot longer to. Yeah, it totally takes a lot longer to upload the Chase Panel. I don't like that. I like fast upload times, so I'll probably remove the music in future versions, but I also want to hear from people what they think. Let's see here. I gotta wait for it to upload. Actually, while I'm waiting for it to upload, I'm going to go to my itch.io dashboard here because I'm logged in here. Okay, I have all these projects here. So first I'm going to update Chase 2 because you'll see that the Windows version, like the Linux version was updated yesterday, technically the same day, but it's like past midnight now. Okay, so I'm going to delete the Windows zip here. Then I'm going to upload the Chase to Windows zip. And then when it uploads, I'm going to mark it again as being the Windows archive. Yeah, and technically it's, it's the zip that contains the executable. So yeah, so it's for Windows specifically. So I got that one. So I have updated that one. Now back to the dashboard. Then I'm going to go to SDL Chased Puyo. And then, okay, I got the Linux one. Yeah, I got the Linux one updated. So now I'm going to delete the Chase Puyo Windows one. Then I'm going to re-upload the new one. Okay, there we go. See, this is basically, and my build system where I just have the right compiling command lets me just double click things and recompile my programs. So, yep, I got marked as Windows and Linux for the right ones. Jeez, Puyo, okay. So this one has finished uploading. So I'm going to save this one. This is a patrons only post. So you have to be my patron if you want to just be able to download these all straight from the page. Okay, anyway. So now I'm going to go to the dashboard. Okay. So yeah, we're going to go to Chase panel. So the Linux version, I updated at 10:59 p.m. Okay. So Chase panel, Windows. Now we're going to delete this one, upload the new one. I don't like how, because well, I include the music with both archives. I thought about having the music be a separate download. I thought about that, but I also thought, well, then someone would download the game, but it wouldn't have the music files, so then it wouldn't load the music files. So I don't know. I still haven't decided. That's something I can meditate on, how I want to handle the whole music thing. I'll probably figure something out. I probably will just release the versions that have music and the ones that don't have music, so that anybody who buys the game will be able to, just download whichever version they want, depending on whether they want music or not. That may just be the best way to handle it. That's what I'll do, I think. Okay. Just gotta wait for that to upload. Well, things are going well. Okay, and also I want to do something, because here I am in OBS. So let's see here. Let's look at the chat. Do I have anyone commenting? No, I have no one commenting. Nobody watches my stream. That's too bad. Hey, hey, hey. Who wants to play my games? Okay, so it's cool that OBS has the Twitch stream chat built into it. So if there were people chatting on here, oh cool, you can actually see my whole screen. So it looks weird, but there's that infinity thing going on. So you can actually see the chat window. That's what I like about OBS. And also, for the record, the reason I made my games full screen is because I just wanted to be able to do, I just wanted to be able to just have it record my whole screen, have the games load and take up the space of the whole screen. It just makes my streaming so much easier. So it was because I started streaming on Twitch. Plus, it also helps because I can upload videos to other places. It just helps to have, high definition, 1920 by 1080 pixels, basically. Let's see here. So I have. Okay, so I got everything. So I save it. Okay, yeah. Let's just make sure I've saved it. Let's see. There's 3 new things in the feed. Oh, cool. Check this out. See, itch.io has all kinds of really cool games. There's a lot. Okay, that one. Oh, somebody. Oh yeah, Ray, who made Raylib, added it to a collection. So, that's the cool thing is people make games with SDL, Raylib. Those are my favorite because they work in C. And also Allego is good. I just don't know much. But yeah, there's a lot of cool games on here. But it would take me forever. But yeah. Oh yeah, and also check this out. Ray added my Chase Triss and Chase Puyo games to his Made with Raylib collection, because they are made with Raylib and they have animations that are not in the SDL versions. Because I was just trying to keep it trim, trying to keep it really neat. But not too long ago, he added these to his collection here. So I am very honored. Thank you, Ray, for including my games in your amazing collection. Raylib really is a cool tool. Um, And I've even thought about getting back into it by updating the Raylib version of my Tetris game and Puyo game. That might be something I would do. Okay, well, I think that's enough of that for now because I have been streaming for a while, but I want to also upload the video from Twitch because it lets me download it usually. So yeah, anyway, you can visit my Patreon. My Patreon is patreon.com/ Chastity White Rose Programming. So yeah, basically, let's see here. Okay, and I want to share my page more, but I also don't want to come across as spammy, begging people to give me money. But yeah, it would be nice. Well, let me check. Let me see. Well, I'll explore my Patreon on my own. But for now, I'm going to stop streaming. I hope this video has been informative to someone. I show a lot of behind the scenes process of how I compile and run and test my games. So this was fun.